So hey gardeners, welcome back. So today we are in my backyard again, and today's video is all about privacy. For those of you who are new, my name is Jennifer Bevins. I am a landscape designer here in Vero Beach, and we are going to talk about some solutions that I've created for my own personal privacy and things that I've done for so many people just throughout the Treasure and Space Coast. So there are so many different ways that you can do privacy, and I thought that I'm going to list kind of some things that are super budget friendly, things that grow very, very fast, and things that, you know, if you want to create and kind of get your hands into a little bit of woodworking here, there's some things that you can do there, but we'll get into that later in the video. I would say 70%, maybe 75% of my clients who call and email me, they're looking for privacy. They're looking for how to create that oasis, or maybe even just block something out that maybe maybe their neighbor is doing over there. Whatever it might be, they're looking to kind of create their own space. We're all busy individuals, and we're looking how to make our space our own. So privacy is a big thing for us, and I thought, let me do a video on sharing some of my top things that I love to incorporate into those particular homes, and hopefully this might help you guys to do the same in your own. So please, if this is kind of your thing, then subscribe, hit that little notification bell. We put out a video every single week. So let's get started. So there are typically about 3 ways to create privacy in a yard. You can do a fence, which is what we have right here. You can do a typical hedge. It's a common thing to do. Create a hedge and you have instantaneous privacy, right? Well, there's that. And then there's a palm tree grouping that you can do. And I'm going to share with you guys all 3 because I have all 3 in my yard, and they all 3 work so great, as well as a DIYer thing that I did on the side that I absolutely love, and it's the perfect amount of privacy for the perfect locations, especially if you're looking to kind of just block a little bit of your neighbor's garbage cans or AC unit, or if it's something simple like that. But I'll share that with you guys later in the video. So as for the fence, and no, I know. A fence it's a common way to do things. A lot of my clients call me and they want to do a perimeter fence, but I promise you this is a more unique way to do it. So when my husband and I were in Scotland last year, we learned that they have courtyards right off of their bedroom area, and I always thought it was just so magical, so wonderful. And so this is a little bit different way to do a fence. We chose to do a backyard fence with a little pergola overhang right off of our bedroom doors to create that perfect romantic little courtyard space. So I think when you're trying to conceal an area nice and tight, you can put in a fence to create that. Soften it, maybe paint it, make it more of a wall feature and create a courtyard with it. And I think that's a perfect way to do a fence. However, a fence all the way around your property for privacy isn't quite practical. So for those of you guys who don't have dogs and need a fence for that reason, you can create a beautiful privacy buffer with several other options, and I'm going to share with you what we've done in those other areas. So the only thing that I didn't mention about the fence is that it's not necessarily budget friendly. It takes some work. It takes, the wood is expensive and whatnot. So what is, I think, a little bit more budget friendly if you're looking to kind of create this yourself and do it yourself are areca palms. I love areca palms. They are ideal to kind of create a linear kind of buffer. Now, I do know that, it does need a little bit of layering, a little bit of polish in the front to kind of give it that look, but I think what a great border planting that they create. If you can take them and put them to the extent of your property line like I have here, and I know it feels like they're up close, but I don't have much property on my side, so I kind of have a few of them like a wall to cover some of the most important things that I want covered. On the opposite side here is my neighbor's very colorful home. There's AC equipment there, there's storage over there, the garbage cans are set over there, so I kind of wanted a little bit of my own space, a little bit of a nestling around my walkway. So the areca palms do a great job, and what makes them so budget friendly is that you can get them this big. They do not need to be large when you put them in. Those of you guys who are from Florida really know they're a staple in a garden for that reason. So you can get a areca palm plant in the ground and you're going to get 3 to 4 foot of growth per year from those. And it's not just overall height, but it's width. So they're really going to do a great job of creating that. So when you get them in like a 7-gallon container, which is about 6 foot tall, plant them about 4 to 5 foot apart, and in no time they will connect and create that great wall. I love their flowy kind of movement. I don't know if you can hear it behind me, but every time the wind blows, you hear those fronds and that movement. And yes, they do get large. They do get about 25 foot. I know I can hear it in the comments right now, but they get big, and when they get big, they get a little thinner at the bottom. So I'm gonna show you what we did with those in the back. So this is an areca palm that has gotten substantial height to it. This guy I put in the garden fairly young, years and years ago. I bet it's about 12 to 15 years old now, and it's gone absolutely stunning, and it has done dual purpose. So when we are on the deck, which is about 3 foot higher, it blocks out a roof line just behind us, which is ideal. A roof line and a screen room for a pool area. So it is doing its job dual duty. But we do have clearance right along this bottom, which is what areca palms do in the future. And so what we did is we created a couple tiered plant grouping that's really going to do a nice job of giving you kind of a visual buffer. So you start kind of creating coverage about 4 to 5 to 6 foot up from this. So areca palms to me are one of the most ideal trees to use. And I consider them my backdrop tree. They're always the tree that's always going to be in the back because they are going to shoot up and shoot up fast, which is what makes them so budget friendly. They're going to give you a lot of coverage very quickly with a little bit out of your pocketbook. And so for those of you guys who are already there with your areca palms and you love their tops and that beauty to them, and you want to see some of the stem but you don't want to see that bottom, then definitely hit up some Sanchesia. They're the perfect underplanting. Now these guys have been trimmed, but I'm going to show you some pictures of what they look like when they're full and they're lush and they're gorgeous. They fill in this bottom base, and then this Queen Emma does its job with really giving us an intermediate skirt to it. So, dress up your areca palms, give them some accessories. That's kind of what they need when they get big. So now let's check out another budget-friendly option in my front yard. So we're in my front yard now, and we are going to look at the Collusia hedge. You guys, I absolutely love the Collusia hedge. And I know a hedge is a hedge, but this is a way that you can really make your hedge work for your space. So what I love about the Collusia is you can put it in at this size here, and it grows super fast. I mean, we were talking about a 3 foot per year easy growth habit on those guys. And I know that you see commonly a hedge that kind of comes out straight and then curves down and it kind of creates a wall. But in a lot of cases, it does the job for you of creating that fence line, but giving you that green screen, that green wall. And then you can take plants and trees and layer into that, or curve a bed to the front of that hedge, or curve a bed to the behind the hedge to kind of create more of that garden-like feel that you're looking for. So it does the job for you. All you have to do is kind of soften it, disguise it a little bit with some layers and some plants. So right behind where Bryce is standing, or where you guys are looking, whichever way, right behind you is our pond, and we love to see the fish. We love to feed the fish and kind of hang out and have our coffees there and just relax in that spot. However, we're on a cul-de-sac, and it is like sweet as that sounds, it's, believe it or not, is a lot of turnaround traffic going right from there. So having a Collusia hedge versus a fence here, honestly, I will tell you that a fence was my first option, but in my community we cannot do a fence. So the very next best thing was creating a Collusia hedge. So I started these guys out at 3 foot tall, and they are now 6 foot tall and become the perfect border. Collusia grows solid from the bottom all the way to the top, so they don't get leggy at the bottom. They stay a solid wall. So now we're going to take a look at the last privacy option. So we're now walking into one of my favorite projects that we did. So this is really in there for you DIYers. It was creating the perfect little privacy area in a very, very tough spot, which if you guys are, I'm sure you're on this video and checking these things out because you have a significant area that you're looking to create some privacy on. You have an area that you're really trying to find some ideas on how to really conceal that spot. And if any of these tips have helped you, then please list it in the comments down below. If there's anything that you've done and you absolutely love the way that it's turned out, then please list that in the comments down below, because that helps this community, and I love that. I love that we're sharing advice from each gardener to gardener into how to create these beautiful spaces for ourselves. So please stick it in the comments down below. But for the one that we're going to look at now is my privacy wall. I have a video about this privacy wall when we installed it last year, and I absolutely love it. It's been a learning curve for me, so I am going to do an update on what's doing well and what has struggled. But overall, this is a troublesome spot. So this is right along my walkway. I have about 9 9, maybe 10 foot. It's not really high up there. I think it's 9 foot up there on my eave where there's such an overhang. So I couldn't put a bunch of plants or trees or anything with significant height, and I didn't want anything right on my house. So if you guys have a similar spot, which is like no room by no room, if you have that going on, this is an ideal thing to use. This is a constructed kind of frame with some metal braces here, or some metal like panels here, and then I just put some hooks on here and incorporated my favorite plant groupings to kind of give me privacy. My bathroom window is on the opposite side, and when we entertain or we have gatherings, there's a lot of traffic that comes in and out through here, and I always feel like it's awkward, you know. So I like the idea that this little area has some significance, it has some interest right by an entrance to the backyard, but it also creates privacy for that window there. So if you've thought about creating a living wall, do it. It's ideal, even if you do it with vines. It's very simplistic plant groupings. It is so well worth creating for your own space. And if you want to see that video, I'll be sure to put it in the description down below, because it was a cool video to put together and share with you guys. So I have a few honorable mentions that I love to incorporate, not only in my garden, but I've incorporated along all of my clients' gardens. I just love the way they work. It becomes such a nice buffer, slow growing, easy to care for. One is the rafus palm. I love the look of these just multi-fingered palms in a garden. Now I have mine in a pot, and that is an ideal way to keep them. If you just have one particular area that you want to cover, you can put them in a pot. They branch out like a bouquet of roses, you know, nice and tight at the center and really open up. So they're really, really cool plant to incorporate when you just have like a certain size, maybe a 6 foot area that you want to cover by 6 foot. Ideal plant to use. Or if you have more room and you want to use them as a perimeter buffer, they're fantastic as a hedge planting. They're just gorgeous to kind of create that nice 9 to 10 foot kind of wall there. So my second honorable mention will be the cat palms, aka Kateria palms. I love the way they work. They do like a little bit of protection from the sun, but they are a fantastic 8 to 9 foot backdrop kind of buffer. I have them here behind my waterfall. I have them tucked in areas where my auriga palms had gotten too tall and I want still leafy coverage at the bottom. They do a fantastic job. So if you guys have an understory planting that you need to just pop some filler in, cat palms are ideal for that. They're chunky, they're fat, and they stay that 8 to 9 foot tall, so you're not worried about them getting in too tall. So that gives you that cost-effective, long-term plant for the garden. I mean, I think they do a fantastic job. So cat palms are definitely not a palm to sleep on when you want that intermediate coverage. So my last tree on the list is the Livistonia fulvus, and I absolutely love these trees. Now I know you guys probably haven't seen this side of my garden. This is actually the rear side of my buffer. So these trees have been in the ground a long time, and what makes them so valuable is that they're a tree that stays put when you plant it. So you can plant it at 9 to 10 foot tall, and it's going to be 9 to 10 foot tall by 6 foot wide for years. It takes a very long time for this tree to grow. So if you've got a spot where you've got some big beautiful coconut palms or auriga palms and they've gotten all size to them, and you need something that's going to offer you coverage long term, that's going to grow super slow, the Livistonia fulvas are a fantastic palm tree to work with because they stay thick, dense, full, big sprawling canopies to them for such a little tree, and they are my backing to my landscape buffer because they fill the holes that I need filled. And I can look out there this year, I can look out there next year, and they're still filling the same holes, which is ideal. So they're a little bit on the pricier side as far as individual palm trees grow, but because they stay in your garden so long, to me that is still a budget-friendly option because they're going to be there to last. So, and that's what we really want. We want palm trees, we want our garden to have an evolving growth, but still have key elements within it to kind of create that long-term privacy buffer that we're all looking for. So that'll do it for today's video. I hope these tips help you guys, and please list it in the comments down below if there's anything that you were able to take away and incorporate into your own garden, and the same if there's something that you've done and it's just absolutely worked. But for those of you guys who might need more than the inspiration that you received here today and you are in our area, then please reach out to us. We do landscape design and installation, and we'd be so very happy to help you guys create that perfect oasis for yourself. And speaking of oasis, if today's video was a video that kind of resonated with you, that's the kind of thing that you like to watch, it's just your jam, then check out this video over here because it is about creating a private oasis for a backyard pool area, and I think you guys would enjoy it. I will see you in the next video. Take care.